Hello there, I'm Malkarth the Bear, and here's a whole bunch of Tellonym questions that I have been asked. Are you a gamer? I mean, yeah, it says it right there in my Discord tags, right in the server right there. I mean, if you don't believe me, here, you can have some proof.
These are 5.
I'm leaving the sand.
Oh, yeah. Raise your hand if you saw that coming. Got it.
What's your Instagram? Not gonna lie, to this day, I still have no clue whatsoever what Instagram even is. It's been out since like 2010, and I've never ever used it. I tend to only use things as they're needed, and when I asked some people what Instagram was back then, they were like, oh, it's for you to post your art and stuff. To which I went, well, I don't make public art, so I don't need it. And here we are today. I got a YouTube, Discord, TikTok, and a Twitter where I just repost memes. That is it. Everything else is fake. What was the last time you regretted something as soon as you said it? Well, one time at dinner, I told my aunt, Possiamo avere qualcosa di diverso de macaroni. I then received a saucepan out of the frisbee style upside my head, and I guess it was dessert. Why you sting key? I bet you think you're clever. I bet you had a shit-eating grin while you typed that in and snuck past the Tellonym filters like the criminal mastermind you were. I bet you were reveling in joy as you wrote out this tale to me. Well, guess what, buddy? I know who wrote this. You're not anonymous. I know where you live, and I'm coming to get you. And you will know why. I am fucking stinky. It's gonna happen, and you're gonna fucking get it. What do you think the meaning of friendship is? Well, in all cultures, friendships are important to have in your lifespan because it lets you share, It's important to have friendships in your life to some degree because generally a friend can give you a very much so needed aspect of your life. You know, someone to do things with, play games with, vent to, go out and hang out, share opinions on stuff. All of that stuff will help keep you from the dark side of your mind. It can be really difficult to find friends, and nigh impossible in my case to find people you actually trust, but the search can be well worth it. Your opinion on gambling and stuff like it. Don't. Just straight up don't. I understand gambling in video games or just a tabletop setting where the currency is completely fictional and it doesn't really matter, but if you are actually gambling your real-life currency away and you are one of those people that is hopelessly addicted to it, to the point that it is destroying maybe not only your life, but the people who are around you, and the people who might depend on you, stop. Please seek help. That is a serious issue. I have seen it countless times. There is hope for you. Just go find it, please. What was the last thing you ate? These! I made burritos! I took eggs, spam, shredded cheese, sour cream, bacon bits, and hot sauce, and I made a pile of deliciousness! The problem is that I portioned the ingredients wrong, so some of these burritos are actually just like 99% spam and bacon bits. Oops. Have you ever broken any part of your body?
I was born with glass bones and paper skin. Every morning I break my legs, and every afternoon I break my arms. At night, I lie awake in agony until my heart attacks put me to sleep. Oh, no! No!
Is there a meaning behind your name? Not really, no. It's just a name that I really like. And I honestly probably like it more than my actual name. And the name that I had previously for myself, so that's just what it is. The closest thing people have ever compared my name to is Malkarth from Skyrim. But other than that, that's about it. Are you able to say no when you don't want to do something? I absolutely have zero trouble telling anybody no if something is making me uncomfortable or I simply don't want to do it. That's because I'm not afraid of people and I hate them. Most people that can't say no often are social outcasts or introverts that don't want to offend or turn away others, but in my case, I have been encouraged by my ever-loving wife to give some people the benefit of the doubt and say yes to their gibberish rather than always saying no. To let them cook, so to speak. And then later you figure out you definitely should have said no when you said yes because they burnt the kitchen down. What do you do when people don't get you? Me when I fucking get them! Do you believe in luck? Yes. In the aspect that I am one of the unluckiest people on this space marble. Seriously, there are countless tales in everything I do where the worst case scenario just seems to manifest because I'm nearby. The trigger phrase seems to be, we've never had X occur in all the years it's been here. Oh, guess there's a first for everything! Rain or snow? A little bit of both doesn't hurt. Rain helps me sleep, and snow tells me the bugs are dead. Both good, just not when you go overboard. You getting a bunch of tells? Admittedly, more than I thought I would. When I first started doing Tellonyms, I said, I'll just do 10 at a time per video. And yeah, that was impossible to sustain. So many of you guys started asking things that I had to say screw it and just started making mass Tellonym bids that answer huge batches of them. Usually between videos I end up accruing about 100 Tellonym questions, so I'll pick and prune the ones that I want to answer and make a video on those. So far I think it's working well. In your opinion, how should the work be split in a relationship? 50-50 in ideal conditions. Both of you should be complements to each other's lifestyles, not luxuries. It takes equal efforts to make a strong bond from both sides, and that's just a fact. How much time do you still spend thinking about your ex? The only times I think about my exes is when I need to remember why they are now my exes. Otherwise, I would not bother wasting my precious brain juice on them. If you could, would you buy yourself a car? As of the posting of this video, I still have a car, though I'm looking to sell it actually. I'm not really a car junkie or care about vehicles at all for that matter, so as long as they get me from point A to B, aren't too big, aren't too expensive, and I have a good reason to drive so the vehicle isn't rotting away in my yard, yeah, I guess. Tips on how to break up without hurting the other person's feelings. Come to terms with the reality that you can't. Realize you're gonna have to hurt someone's feelings because unless they were just using you and truly gave no shits about you, it is impossible to leave them emotionally unscathed. It's just a fact of life when you get into relationships. The price is in your emotional stability. But you asked for tips on how to do it, so here's 3. 1, if you want to break up with someone, have the decency to at least say it to their face or by voice if you started the relationship like that and can. Texting your breakups is frowned upon because that's usually a dick move. 2, always state the reason. Do not let someone go without letting them know why you need to break up. It is egregious to just dump someone without even saying so much as a peep as to why you've done it. 3, make sure you're firm with your decision. Don't be one of those couples that breaks up and gets back together 37 times a month. You'll come out of it emotionally stronger if you can prove to yourself that you can resist trying to cure your own heartbreak by just band-aiding it with another relationship. Finally, always be sincere. Don't be a dick when you do it, just state honestly how you feel and how you can't go on anymore with the relationship. It'll save you and your ex a mountain of headache if you behave like civil people. Have you ever cried because of love? Yes, but only in happiness with my true love. I've never wasted tears on sour exes. Water is expensive, I can't afford to do that. Are you a person with trust issues?
Who the fuck's asking?
You cool with covering all the costs in a relationship? I know earlier I said effort in a relationship should be 50-50 ideally, but when it comes to cost, I usually will never let my wife pay for anything. Not because she can't, but because I just want her to have her own money for things, and I don't want her to spend money on my behalf. Sort of like how I do dinner dates, I believe that whomever suggested the date itself should pay for it. But that being said, if she suggested it, I'll pawn it off as my own idea afterwards, so, blip. Do you think karma really exists? The funny answer would be to say, yeah, she's got a 50.31% win rate. But the honest answer is, nah. I think the problem with karma is the attempts to incentivize people to be good for the sake of good being paid back to them. Like karma is a transaction, and by investing good points into it, you'll get good things in the future. But as someone who has gone out of their way many times to do good for others or the environment, I actually seem to be punished for it relentlessly. So, no. What makes you so beautiful? Much like the honey I use as conditioner, it's all natural.
Hola.
Do you believe in ghosts? No, come on, that's silly. There's no such thing as ghosts. Look at you being a little silly booper. Do you believe in ghosts? Oh, do you believe in ghosts? Oh, look at you. Oh, you're a big booper believer, you are. Ah! Huh. Well, what do you know? Are you happy at the moment?
Ha! No.
A topic you can't get out of your head recently. You know, everything you're doing isn't really worth it.
After all, it's not gonna amount to anything. It never has before.
Look around. You don't have fucking friends.
No matter
and
how
the ones
you
you do
spend it,
have
no matter
are
what
hopelessly
you do,
addicted
it's
to
just
a video
not
game or
going
something
to
else.
matter.
They're
Pretty up there, aren't we, man?
And fucking,
You know,
what are you gonna
not
have
a
to
lot
do
to
with
say
yours?
for what we've done so
You
far.
can't fucking make friends.
Sure, maybe
with
some
people.
personal accolades.
Hey, it's
but,
Jerry.
like,
Just
marriage
called to leave a
for
message.
anybody
I just
else.
want you to know that I got the lawnmower back I mentioned last weekend, and I couldn't help notice a couple of the blades go bent. You didn't happen to hit any like rocks at her at that point?
Hey, how are you? So in a previous Tellonym, I stated that I get a lot of duplicate questions, and more often than not, I delete them because for one reason or another, someone not watching my Tellonyms, only watching the part where I answer them, or only watching like 5 seconds of it, that's why they ask the duplicate questions. So, I understand that, but I'm gonna turn this one on its head. Hey, how are you? Yeah, good luck answering that. Longest you've stayed awake. When I first recorded this question, I went into a 5-minute long story time rant about the time that I could closely recall that I had to be awake for an extremely long period of time, but I realized it was actually too long and too much editing that I could not be bothered with. So I will save that for another time, but the short answer is over 50 hours, maybe closer to 56 hours because of airport and multiple flight layovers. That was hell, and I hope to never repeat that again, and fuck Miami. Be smart or be beautiful.
¿Por qué no los dos?
Everything alright with you at the moment?
Not since you last asked 3 minutes ago.
Never care or care too much? If it's me personally, it's never care, but it does depend on the context, because for example, if you never care about things like the quality of your work, it'll always be crap. But if you care too much about what people think of you, you'll twist and warp your life to seek approval when you could have just lived without it. What did you do today? I got home from a family trip, and it reminded me why I stopped going on family trips. What is it like to be so attractive?
Stop.
Are you a better listener or speaker? I'm actually pretty good at both, but I will admit that it is easier to be a better listener than a speaker. To be a good listener, all you have to do is just like the person that's talking to you and just listen. Like, it's the most common courtesy you can pay to someone who's having a conversation with you. When it comes to speaking, though, I like to focus on my words thoroughly before I say them in a professional environment, so I don't have a lot of discourse markers. Those being things like, well, because those just fill out pauses, you know. I still will use those if I'm in a casual setting or just with friends, because, you know, you don't always want to have to think 100% about what you're saying. Oh, see, there I did it again. Where are you right now?
I am 100 meters from your location and approaching rapidly. Start running.
Do you share your feelings on the internet? If it's appropriate, sure. Psychological issues and detrimental feelings are something that I feel has no place being tossed around in a public setting because the internet is ruthless, and come on, nobody wants to see that. I prefer to deal with my issues myself because, as a wise man once said, everyone needs therapy. Not everyone needs a therapist. Take that nugget of wisdom and roll with it. Do you tend to overthink? Generally, I try to focus my overthinking on productive things, like making sure every contingency has been taken for a scenario to go as best it can. But I do still tend to overthink on negative things, mostly to try and make sure I've at least considered them. I think most people are prone to overthink from time to time because anxiety is just sort of hardwired in all of us. What's something you always have with you? Wallet, phone, balls, and keys. Never leave the cave without. Can you open up to other people easily? Nope. I'm a misanthrope. So that never happens. What would you do if your ex called you today?
Who is this? I told you to stop calling this number.
Tattoo or piercing? If I'm being honest, neither. But if I had to choose one, I would definitely choose the tattoo. Because for one, it wouldn't hurt, and two, I could probably grow to enjoy whatever I would come up with. It's just way less maintenance than having piercings. Do you think second chances make sense? It depends on the person, but as I previously stated, as a misanthrope, no. I firmly believe that people are set in their ways, and if they willingly committed an act they shouldn't have, they'll do it again. True change is so rare in people that I almost don't consider the few cases I've seen as evidence to suggest otherwise. Chocolate or cheese? It has taken 5 Tellonym videos, but somebody is finally asking the hard questions. If I had to choose, I would say cheese, just because I tend to always love the many different flavors of cheese, but I only tend to like dark chocolate, so I could live without it. Be in love or be famous? I feel like I've answered this on a previous Tellonym through one way or another, but yeah, be in love, not famous. Famous is overrated and comes with a lot of anxieties that I would not be okay with dealing with. Are you a furry? Yes, but before you... Ah, damn it. How do you feel about the ghost girl disappearing from social media? It felt like you both were great friends. Well, this had to be asked by somebody who knew me on debut, so I might have an idea of who asked it, but I feel like I explained this a lot anyway, so let's get it officially on record now. When I first started out on YouTube, I came with a batch of other VTubers who were also trying out the scene. One of them was the ghost girl, aka Willow, who streamed on YouTube rather than Twitch like everybody else was doing. I was a moderator personally for her Discord server and helped her keep the place clean with the other two mods in between the streaming and video making collabs that we did. Everything was going fine, but when Willow reached around 400 subs, she announced that she needed a break for a week. So we all just kept doing what we were doing, but way more than a week passed. Matter of fact, from what I can see in the Discord messages I have, a full year passed without so much as even a single message from her about what was creating this delay. Naturally, we all got really worried and afraid of the worst, but it wasn't until suddenly after the new year that Willow came in and announced this, stating that she needed a break because her life became very busy, but fell into the trap of not feeling like anything she could have said would have justified how she kept missing the mark, therefore making an extreme delay. After this statement, she proceeded to send me one last message thanking me for all the help I had given her in her career and mine, and then nuked the hell out of her everything. The only remnants that she ever did VTubing or content creation is on my channel with the Minecraft collabs that we did. Personally, I think once a couple months had passed with radio silence from her, I kinda figured she wasn't coming back. This wasn't because she was telling me that on the side, more so it's just that it was that kind of silent delay that said, yeah, this isn't ending well. Content creation isn't for everyone. In fact, if you try to do it alongside things like jobs or involved hobbies, you might wear yourself pretty thin to the point you'll have to drop it. Making videos or streaming is something you have to be fully prepared to delve into, and the time and patience required to make something from it is daunting, to say the least. I respect her personal reasons for wanting to stop and delete everything. She was very concerned for her privacy after all, so I understand why the nuking occurred. I enjoyed collabing with her and watching her stream. She even created the little graphic you see me use often called soup. I suppose I keep using it as not only because I loved it, I just love it, I love this thing to death, but because I see it as a little trinket I was gifted from her, reminding me of the help she gave me when I was starting out. As it stands, I'm the only member left from that initial group. Everybody else scattered out and disbanded, except this guy. He's still around somewhere. And here I am, 2K subs later, still trying my best. I can only wish Willow the best in whatever she gets into, wherever she is. And hey, if you're watching Spoopy Girl, thanks again for giving this bear a place to start. Okay, Keith. Why did you choose a bear as your Abby? Because I'm a bear, you dingus. What are you, blind? My entire life has just been super bear influenced, from media to literature to everything. Really, it isn't a surprise that it came out like this. I went through a lot of phases choosing different animals when I came into what I was, and that's one of the only things that I'm happy about as I settled on this, and now I'm happy with this. This is just me. I am me. How are things going between you and Meryl? Thank you for asking. Things are wonderful as always. I couldn't love them any harder without killing them. We're trying to go through the whole process of immigration again, and, well, I know not a lot of people have experience with this debacle, but let me assure you, the government is bullshit no matter where it's located or how you spin it. It has been a financial and mental hellscape that we're trying to tread, but, aside from that, we're still just living our lives together as best we can. They are still the only reason I get out of bed in the morning. So, take that as you will. Vanilla or chocolate? As I previously said, I only really like dark chocolate. Now, vanilla, I like a lot more. And in fact, I've only ever seen... Oh, wait a minute. I just remembered that chocolate milk exists, and I really like chocolate milk. Pass. Would you ever consider starting a business with your friends? No. No, 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 no. Absolutely not. That is one of the worst ideas you can do, and here's why. When you want to create a business with your friends, generally it's because you want to maintain that aura of friendship with them while trying to make some money. You know, put fun in your work. This single action can strengthen your friendship, or more than likely completely annihilate it. You should not try to integrate your fun with your work. Friends have a lot of leniency with each other, and this is because you're friends. If one of you fucks up, you're more inclined to forgive and look past that. That attitude can severely detriment whatever business you're starting up if you do nothing but sweep stuff under the rug. Because if you're doing nothing but forgiving your friends and their screw-ups, you are continuously lowering the bar. Eventually that bar is going to be so low that you might as well not even have a business anymore. Don't even get me started with handling money with your friends. The whole, "I'll pay you back later, man," shtick has been permanently ingrained in my head as a trigger phrase. Friends are also super quick to accidentally dox you. There's a couple people I've streamed with recently, mind you, that have casually stated both my real name and what state I'm located in. Did I give consent to that? Fuck no! But they did it anyway because that's how casual they feel in my presence, not realizing that we're trying to be in a more professional setting. Basically, your friends are idiots. Don't do anything serious or professional with your friends unless they're smart enough to actually hold up to that standard. This question is directed at me, so ran aside? No. Hell no. I would never consider any of my friends for a serious business partnership. I've gotten burned a lot in the past on that shit, and hell, I don't even have friends anymore that want to hang out with me or message me on a frequent basis. The only guy I got left that still does either of those things is this guy. And he ain't good for business, to say the least. Love you anyway, man. Alrighty, there was a whole bunch of questions answered. Hope you learned something new about me. Links to my Tellonym as well as our comfy little Discord server are in the description. Stop on by if you want to ask me anything or chill with us. Thank you all so much for watching. Have a wonderful day.